Hey everybody, it's Greg Furrow at the Catholic Worship Conference. Today we are wrapping up Drum Month. At the very beginning of this month, I extended you a challenge. 3 minutes a day on your pad with your sticks on a click. Did you do it? Did you participate? We have one new assignment that we're going to talk about today. This wraps up the month. At the very beginning of the month, I shared with you that I have seated you at the head of the table. Drummers, I have seated you at the head of the table. You have to be the strongest musician on the team. And I mean it. I mean that truthfully. You have to be, and I trust you to be. You to be that person. I trust you to be that person. Let's review what we've learned through this month. We learned about dynamics. We talked about overall dynamics within a song. So the ensemble's dynamics and your dynamics as a drummer through the verse, through the chorus, and then through the bridge and what those elements mean within a song. We talked about interdynamics, which talks about how to balance the kit in our ear as we play the individual components, kicks, snare, hats, ride, crash. The interdynamics of how those things work well and sound great together when we purposefully drive it to do so on the instrument and not let the instrument just do its work and just flood the air and the atmosphere full of sound. Then we talked about inter-instrument dynamics and how those hits add sizzle and groove depending on what notes you emphasize, what notes, how you strike the drum, how you strike the cymbal, add that flavoring, that seasoning to make the drum kit sound fantastic and move people. So we then went on, we learned about time signatures, what they mean, how they feel, and how to count them. So by now, you are all time signature ninjas. You can count off the band, you can count off the section, and you know what those numbers mean and how the music feels when you see and hear those numbers. Speaking of counting, we learned how to play and count out loud and why that's so important in reinforcing groove and expanding your hits and your fills vocabulary and what those things mean. So by counting, we're expanding our feel and our playing. Speaking of vocabulary, we worked on singing and playing. We talked about singing and playing, so valuable in learning material faster and then reinforcing it for Sunday so that you can get out of the mechanics of working through the song and you can get into playing and praying the song without thinking about those mechanics. You can engage emotionally with the song, but we have to get out of the mechanics and into the emotion of the song in order for that to happen. The better you know it, the less mechanical and the more musical it becomes. Let's talk about next steps and going forward. If you haven't participated in the challenge, jump in right now. Right now, at the end of this video, I want you to start. We're coming up in the month of September. I don't need to tell you what 30 days or 31 days means. You can challenge yourself. If you haven't picked up the challenge, start today. Start tomorrow, but start and see it through. 3 minutes a day on your pad with your sticks on a click. Commit to it, make it happen. All right, now I'm actually going to ask for your help. Will you help me? Will you help me? The mission of the Catholic Worship Conference is to enable excellence in Catholic music ministry. That is the mission. I want to grow just like I've asked you to grow. Will you help me to grow? And will you help me grow my mission of helping others to grow? It's not going to cost you a dime. Here's what I am going to ask you to do to help me. Here's how you can help me. The first thing is subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Right underneath this video, there's a button that says subscribe to the Catholic Worship Conference. Hit it, subscribe. That helps me out a ton. It's a real little thing. It helps me out a ton. Second thing, put a comment on this video, preferably, what you've liked, and I'm going to ask you to frame up your feedback and your comments in terms of how I can make this better for the next group of musicians. By the way, the next group of musicians, September is going to be acoustic guitar month. So things like specificity around there weren't enough emails, or there were enough emails, or I would have liked to have seen more on this, or this was super helpful and I felt like this helped me grow as a player. Those kinds of comments, leave them below on this video. I appreciate it. Last thing, head over to CatholicWorshipConference.com, join our mailing list, and I'll send you the the free guide for 5 key steps for a successful rehearsal. You'll also get to hear about upcoming clinics, events, workshops, webinars. We're not going to sell your email. We're not going to sell you out. We're only going to send you tasty things to your inbox. Now for the most important things, and I think these things are the most important. I want you to know that I value you as a person and as an individual more than I value your ability to play the drums well. And I think that's very important to say. I value you as a person more than I value your ability to play the drums well, okay? Second of the most important things, I want you to understand and know that God has a deep and a radical love for you. And it's my hope and my dream for you that you grow in your life to understand that and to really comprehend that. And if you don't now, that you continue growing in that understanding that God has a radical and a deep love for you. Third, I do want you to continue growing, learning, improving, drumming, enjoying, and being the best version of who God created you to be, okay? Both as a drummer and as an individual. So that is the third most important thing I want to talk about. I'm going to give you a new assignment. Going forward, your assignment is to keep going forward and to keep drumming and to keep growing and to become a stronger musician tomorrow than you are today. Last thing, for my drummers that work with me here at the parish, your pads have arrived, and I'm really excited about it. They've come in. I will hand them to you when I see you in person. Use them to practice, use them to learn new rudiments. Go check out that Vic Firth website we've talked about many times in person. I think it's like the Essential 40 Rudiments or something like that. Go learn some new rudiments, use your pad, use your sticks on a click, grow your drumming vocabulary, okay? And as you do that, one of the best things that I have found in practicing drums or guitar or anything on a click is it brings because it's something you were so focused on, it brings a healing and a peace in a chaotic world, in a chaotic life where the phone is always going off and we're always running to the next thing. Use that time, that 3 minutes a day or 5 minutes a day or whatever you're doing on a click, let that bring peace to you as we are pursuing and constantly seeking after the heart of the Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ. Much love. Thank you guys for jumping into this challenge this month. We'll see you soon on the channel. God bless.